Hello, Snake. It's been a while, hasn't it? I hear you've been causing quite the ruckus.
So technically, you know, like, Eva disappears after MGS3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the credits say she, like, just kind of disappears somewhere in Hanoi or something. But technically, in Portable Ops, you find her again.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. You find her and you can recruit her as a playable character.
10 years ago.
Um...
I'm sorry.
But this game doesn't really acknowledge that. But yeah, Big Boss has met Eva again anyways because, you know, they made the Patriots.
Right.
And she's just talking like, hey, yeah, they're using Legacy and the Patriots are... They're doing shit with it.
It's taken me 10 years. Once you've heard what I have to say, you'll understand why. That photo belonged to her. I know what you're thinking. What does she have to do with this? You've probably seen it 100 times in the press already. Obviously, it's of the Mercury 7, the first group of American astronauts, the heroes of Project Mercury.
So yeah, all the heroes of Project Mercury, one of them shot bees, one of them was a crazy fireman, you know, the usual.
You know.
That 8th astronaut, the one airbrushed out of existence. That was her.
We knew that already, though, didn't we?
Now, why did they need to keep her?
Well, we knew that she was the first person in space
What were they trying to hide?
before, like, Gagarin,
The answer
but it was kept secret. But we didn't know she was part of that whole
That specific thing.
years ago.
Yeah.
Even though it
It
fits,
was the height of
since,
the
you know.
Cold War. The Eastern and
That's right.
Western blocks were racing to develop space technology to match their nuclear arsenals.
Man, I know what that's like. Fucking so many hours of my life.
about it.
The Americans were stunned. They'd been led to believe their
And this music they're using is actually the same stuff from the end of MGS3. When Eva, after Eva and Snake bone, and then he wakes up.
It's all like, oh no, what's happened? Oh no,
Yeah.
she took everything.
Damn it. Damn it.
This happens every time.
Not again.
The following year, the Army succeeded in launching the first American satellite, Explorer 1. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration was established that fall, and Project Mercury with it.
Okay.
The goal was to send a man into space, and 7 men were chosen as pilot candidates.
You know, Eva should really know this is Snake she's talking to, and he's not gonna sit through all of this.
Huh?
They were immediately hailed as national heroes, icons of Western space exploration. But after Explorer, America suffered a series of failed rocket launches. Desperate, the government made a fateful decision. Unable to wait for its space program to mature, they'd steal the Soviets' technology, at the same time sabotaging their space program.
Of course. Of course.
You know better than anyone how hard a mission that was. The Soviet space program was shrouded in secrecy. Recovering that information would be no easy task.
Easy enough, got done.
They insert a sleeper agent into the research institute, or else recruit one of those insiders to do the job for them. And, if necessary, the mission leader would have to go in and sort things out themselves. Someone was needed with experience, knowledge, and superior intuition.
So a robot that sounds like the boss. Oh wait, I mean the real boss, sorry. She was alive back then.
Didn't need no robots.
President
She
himself
wasn't dead because of you.
by
Not
name.
again,
He needed
no.
someone who could be trusted
Those
with
wounds were just healing.
information. Who else to turn to but the hero of the Second World War?
God damn it.
It was
One day.
1959. So you see,
I want to see that.
that's
I
when
know.
she left. That was the top secret mission.
Maybe he'll pull something crazy with Phantom
Dude,
Pain.
that'd be fucking
But her
amazing.
selection ruffled a
Maybe
few
Phantom
CIA
Pain refers to the sorrow somehow. Hmm?
Then going over their heads
Yeah,
like that.
case closed, I just solved it, bitch.
And now the CIA was dragging its feet. She couldn't get anything out of them. No manpower, no
Imagine I fold my arms like I'm really cool
Right,
at
of
the same
course.
time I say that.
The boss
Glasses
made a
come out of
decision
nowhere.
She knew would come
Yeah.
back to haunt her. She decided to tap into the philosophers' network. And that's when the wheels of fate began to turn.
Okay, number 2.
What? There's more of these? God damn it, Eva.
What? 6 of these? You could just put this one tape. What's it? What a waste. Good lord.
Well, I've already used that from listening to the first one, so I'm gonna use it to tape sounds of dinosaurs.
I'll show him to Cecile and she'll shriek like a monkey. Okay, anyways, 3, 2, 1, go.
The philosophers were a secret society of power brokers formed in a pact between the U.S., Russia, and China in the early 20th century.
Yeah, thank you for the recap.
Of course, by that time, the American and Soviet branches
Well, what if
had
somebody
already
played this
parted
game
ways.
and somehow got this far without also never playing any of their Metal Gear Solids?
That's their own
They
goddamn
would have to
fault.
be told.
I fucking- excuse me, I fucking hate that. Fact of the matter is, if you're playing something that's in a series and you don't start at number 1, you're just
Yeah.
stupid.
I mean, I understand doing a little bit, like, in the beginning of games to, like, recap, this is what this guy's character is all
Right,
about.
well, if it's been like 5 games
that.
between developments of
But, like,
games,
if you're
sure.
in this deep, you already know.
Yeah.
Them over the Berlin Wall. It was a dangerous
Well,
game
I'm just
to
saying,
play.
and of all the things in Metal Gear Solids to recap on,
Mm-hmm.
this I get the philosophers. That's pretty simple, all considered.
Yeah.
A lot of this other shit, though.
12 rich men with lots of power. I get
Yeah.
it.
I know she told you that story.
I like how frequently I randomly just have a thought about these games and have to seek you out to ask you, because I can't
Just herself in danger.
I can't start looking at the wiki again. It's just,
I wonder
just
if I'll know
hours.
all of this stuff as well as I do right now the day I die.
What a morbid thought!
If that proved to be the
And then I'll think, what have I done with my life?
yoke of nuclear deterrence,
And then I'll be like the giver, and I'll put like my hand on some kid's forehead. I'll transfer all of my knowledge, so he can bear the burden for all of mankind.
as you know, the so-called missile gap turned out.
And then he'll start seeing color and shit.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's also associated with Metal Gear Solid somehow. It'll be black and white in the future.
In fact, the whole
It'll be some horrible hipster accident.
was part of an elaborate ruse.
Everything's vintage!
Only we didn't know that.
That's all sepia, nothing else.
She used to joke that even she swallowed the whole missile gap story, hook, line, and sinker. She put her life on the line for the sake of her country.
What?
When you die. Come on, man. I can't even. I wasn't even listening to this.
Gonna
have to listen to it again.
Yeah. Okay, how about just when I'm really old? That's less morbid.
Yeah, yeah.
In 40 years.
Okay. That,
When I'm
see, I
60.
can get behind that. I wonder, after I've established myself in a career, had children, have retired, will I still be able to recall exactly what Revolver Ocelot's motivations were at any given
What was
time?
Solidus Snake's deal?
Just when the operation was
George
Oh, yeah.
Sears? That sounds familiar. I just can't place it. I feel like I know this dude.
That's why Solidus was so pissed off, I'll think to myself while I'm eating cyber food in the 2070s.
In fact, they
Yeah.
wanted to reap the rewards for themselves. But the boss didn't object. My part is over, she said. I don't care what you do with the data now.
No, I see. I'm gonna have to rewatch it. You can leave this audio. I don't know what's happening.
While the Russians lagged behind. They even got a report from their mole.
No, it's basically, you know, they were sending her to fuck over
The safe return of Sam has sent our
the Russian
scientists
space
into
program,
panic,
gets
he
a bunch
said.
of information from them,
Soon afterward,
and, you know, they got
the
it back,
Soviet
and
Union sent an animal
at
of
that
its
point,
own
it was
to
just
make
like,
Sputnik 2.
all the guys that want her to do that, it was just like, hey, yeah, so you did all that for us, and now we're gonna pretend you never did it and kind of like fuck you over. And she's like, yeah, alright,
Fated never
because
to
I'm
return.
just that loyal to my country.
It's fine. I'm the boss.
The U.S. can recover its spacecraft from the
Or
ocean
boss,
upon
rather.
re-entry.
No, the.
The Soviet Union only borders the frozen Arctic. They had to bring their spacecraft down on land. How could they soften the impact enough to bring a living creature back safely? The agent
Water?
reported that the Soviets hadn't yet found a solution to that problem. The plot to sabotage
Parachutes.
the Soviet space program
I'm a scientist. I know these things.
First, they tampered
If you can balloon them up, you can balloon them down. I've got this figured out. Do you know about this thing
Yeah.
called Fulton?
This is the inverse balloon theory.
They did manage to send 2 dogs into orbit aboard Sputnik 5 and return them safely to Earth.
And those dogs were in solid liquid. What?
Dogs, sure, but humans? They didn't have the technology. Everybody believed it. Everybody was complacent. Everybody. Except the boss. There was something about the Sputnik 5 schematics they were getting that didn't seem right. Some kind of ejection device on the capsule that didn't quite belong. She she couldn't figure out the reason why it was there. What was it supposed to eject?
The boss was also well-versed in how to build rockets.
Yes, so... of course they would, because she's just supposed to be, like, there.
Flight recorder in case of an accident.
Collecting information, not actually knowing what's going on.
But the CIA wasn't having it. They probably thought she was trying to reclaim some of the glory for
Although, to be fair, she must know at least a little bit of something, because they sent her into space. Or is
Yeah,
it just
that's
she
true.
learned all this shit down? They're like, oh, fine, get up there.
No, she was... Yeah.
Without any backing from the CIA, by the beginning of the next year, 1961, she'd succeeded in infiltrating OKB-1. That's when she saw the truth for the first time. The sleeper that she'd worked so hard to place was a double agent. He'd been turned by the Soviets and was feeding the Americans lies. But what shocked the boss even more was why. The CIA's access agent had been taking a large cut of the sleeper's pay. The sleeper felt what little he was left with wasn't worth the risk. When he got a better offer from Moscow, he took it.
Reasonable.
At some point, the American
This is why you don't dick over your spies, man.
Soviets. And contrary to what the sleeper had been reporting, the Soviets' manned spaceflight technology was quite advanced. It wasn't until she infiltrated OKB-1 herself that the boss learned the truth about Sputnik 5. After the spacecraft re-entered the atmosphere, it ejected the pilot.
Brilliant! Genius! Amazing!
At an altitude of 7,000 meters.
9 out of
It was
10!
the Soviet solution to the problem of land recovery. The mystery device attached to Sputnik 5 was for that purpose.
No one could figure that out, come on.
The pilot would parachute down from that high altitude wearing a bulky spacesuit.
He looked really dumb. Stupid. Just flat out retarded.
Exactly how
Good
dangerous it was,
lord.
of course. So much so that they gave Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, a special 2-rank promotion before re-entry. Only Moscow could come up with this kind of plan. With total state
Moscow's just
control
insane,
over
crazy!
they could easily pretend it never happened in the event of a failure.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, you don't want people to know, like, oh, murdered some dude by trying to do science. My bad.
Nightmare. The glory of mankind's first
He knew what he was in
spaceflight
for.
about to be stolen from them.
He signed the document, it's fine.
It was Sputnik all over again. And the CIA was caught no less off guard. Their ineptitude had caused the fiasco in the first place.
Isn't that like the story of the CIA?
Yeah.
They'd woven a masterful tapestry of truth and fiction.
Damn it!
To
Says
convince
Goldman.
the Americans their intelligence operations were proceeding as planned. No one but the boss could have seen through it. It was obvious the Soviets had some gifted minds working on their side. But that certainly didn't excuse the CIA's massive failure.
I get it, they suck.
The CIA wasn't done, though. And
Those
devised
fucking
an
cocksuckers,
ingenious
good lord!
to avoid taking responsibility.
Look at these scrubs!
Luckily for them,
Look at him,
a
Snake!
new president had been elected.
I mean,
the previous
figuratively.
November. John
But,
F.
like, think about
Kennedy.
them. Think about that.
As he didn't know the case history when taking office, the CIA was able to feed lies to his new administration.
Well,
They masked
That works,
their
I
own
guess.
failures, placing the blame squarely
Although
on
that
the
sucks.
boss's shoulders. After all, she'd selected an unreliable sleeper. They claimed she'd failed to make use of one of the most effective means of controlling a sleeper agent's actions. Holding their family hostage.
or you could have just paid the dude a reasonable rate.
Where that would have worked.
Are you kidding? We could use that to... I don't know.
Bring herself to do it.
Make our offices look nice.
It seems clear it had to do with having her own child taken.
Ocelot!
She could never inflict
What?
the same fate on anyone else. The CIA used that against her. In his election campaign, Kennedy
Kinda
had
interesting
vowed
that to this
close the
point,
missile gap with Moscow.
Ocelot hasn't appeared anywhere.
America lost the space race, that promise would be worthless. The fact that the president had no
I
links to the
don't
philosophers
understand
only made
why the boss continued to do anything for the United States.
Aware of the secret networks she'd used to complete her mission.
Yeah,
In
well,
his
it's like-
eyes, she was no better than a traitor.
They're taking, like, her loyalty thing to the extreme with this backstory. But at least at the end of MGS3, it was either... the boss's plan was either I'm loyal to the end and Snake kills me, or Snake fucks up and I kill him, and then I just kind of ditch the U.S. because guess what? I got the Philosopher's Legacy.
Right.